What's up YouTube, I'm Mike. Today I'm back with another Ace update video. This video is being targeted for the masses, so I'm going to be as cleanly spoken as possible. If you do not like this style of video, then you can definitely join my members section, which is popping off in a major way. There are two tiers of the membership section. The $5 tier will get you what has already been existing, although that tier is probably going to go away eventually. The $25 tier will get you all of my totally raw and unhinged, even more. I mean, we're talking about this content is not monetized at all, so I'm making zero efforts at adhering to any of the rules. So it is completely off the reservation and it's only going to get worse. The $25 tier also gives you access to the members only Discord. Actually, that's the one reason I might leave the $5 tier up, because that also gets you access to the members only Discord. One of the things worth mentioning, I decided to spice up the members only Discord for those of you who are paying the $25 a month. And in there is a fan site teaser thread in there that is getting ready to get updated with not safe for work images. I don't know how far I'm gonna let that go. So basically there's gonna be some real actual teasers in there. So if you guys want an avenue to get not safe for work content without having to go to a fan site, you will be able to get it now on my Discord, which for some of you married folks out there might be quite the hack. I know a lot of people don't want to have OF accounts, and while there will almost certainly not be any video hosted on there, we'll just see how it goes. I'm not sure how much file size I can upload to Discord. So if you want a little sneak peek at some of the goings on the fan site, then you will be able to find it at the $25 rate. That all being said, and again, trying to keep this as clean as possible so that I can release it to the masses, this is the update I have for you today with the Ace cycle. I am unfortunately ready to admit, okay, so what I'm trying to get at is, the entire time that I've been doing gear, I have intentionally steered clear of one drug especially, and that was Trenbolone acetate. I was convinced by everything that I had read about it that it would be a drug that would be the most likely of all steroids to lead to addiction type of behavior. Now, I know a bunch of you are going to be like, are you serious, bro? Like, clearly you're addicted to steroids. I'm not arguing that point. I'm not arguing the point that on the whole, my addictive personality definitely plays a role in my willingness to continue to push the limits and try to use all these crazy compounds and stuff. The Trenbolone Ace is different. So what I mean by that is, because I have been able to get these very acute come-ups every time I increase my dose. So like when I started Ace, the first 3 days, I was experiencing massive come-up symptoms. A lot of lifted mood, aggression, energy, intensity, all the things that I've been talking about on this channel or on these last few videos. And so that lasted, what it seems to last is about 3 days. So I think I started at 7 milligrams. I was on that for three days to a week. I stopped feeling the effects. I bumped up to 8 for the next couple of days. I started feeling come up again, and then I stopped feeling the effects. And so as of, I think this is day 2, yesterday I bumped the dose up to 9 milligrams twice a day. Yes, I am pinning Trenbolone acetate twice a day. It is 100%, in my experience, the best way to do it. I feel so much better on this acetate ester pinning it twice a day. I pin it at 8 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, give or take. Sometimes, like yesterday we were at the water park. I didn't get home in time to pin it at 4, so it was closer to 5:30. Luckily, the doses were close enough together that I was not feeling the full effect, the come down, what I call the come down effect, which is just sort of disassociated and kind of cracked out feeling. I'm not experiencing that at all anymore. So one could maybe argue that if I had just stayed on single dosing long enough, that would have gone away. But because it did take a few days, once I went to two a day dosing, to completely remove the come down effect was still about 3 days. Although it was markedly better every single day. So I am now up to 18 milligrams per day, which is a total of 126 milligrams of Trenbolone acetate per week. I still continue to believe that Trenbolone acetate is stronger than the Tren E at the equivalent dose. I know, obviously, that 126 milligrams of Tren Ace is actually more than 120 milligrams of Tren E due to the ester weight, but I feel more like I'm on 300 milligrams of Tren E versus, at this dose of Ace. So here's my protocol for where we stand today, and this is changing very rapidly, so you'll have to keep up. Currently, I'm pinning 126 milligrams of Tren Ace per week. I'm pinning 200 milligrams of Test C per week, 200 milligrams of Nandrolone decanoate per week, and I'm probably going to sit at 300 milligrams of Masteron per week. I am convinced, and I'm going to find out very soon, that the Masteron was blocking prolactin in my system. We will find that out soon enough. I am definitely starting to get side effects of high prolactin, so I will be very interested to see. I'm probably get my blood work. Probably it's gonna be tomorrow. I don't think I'm gonna make it today. I'm probably gonna try to get it done tomorrow or Wednesday. I have labs that I have to pull for Royal Medical Centers. By the way, if you need testosterone replacement therapy, use code MikeFit on royalmedicalcenters.com. They will get you a discount for the first 6 months. So they're requesting my blood work be done because I had my standard blood work done when I was on the mint, and my E2 came back in the stratosphere. So they're more than a little freaked out about my estrogen. They're making me do repeat blood work, which is really great for me because I think I have finally dialed my estrogen into the sweet spot or very close to it. Last time I made a video talking about my estrogen level, it was reading in the normal range. It was like 21 in a range of 29. Unfortunately, at that point, my D game was still not consistently functional. I'm very, 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 very happy to report that finally today it is. It has been functional for the past 3 or 4 consecutive days. I'm still only taking 1 milligram of Cialis per day. I do not think that that is the causal factor. I definitely think that the causal factor was estrogen. My gyno is almost completely gone now. It was still a little tender yesterday. It's been just slowly getting better every day. And so it's possible that my E2 is continuing to come down. I'm taking a Arimidex at 0.5 milligrams every single day, which puts me at about, I think that's 3.5 per week, which is really more than I should need on 200 milligrams of test. When I was taking 200 milligrams of test without the Deca in the mix, I only needed 1.5 milligrams of Adex to sustain normal estrogen levels. So I'm not entirely certain why it's taking so much right now. Again, Deca is a factor. I don't know if it's just still taking time for all of the tests in my system to come down. We'll definitely see how that goes over the next few days and weeks. I am not feeling a tremendous amount of negative side effects from the Trenbolone. It has not had any negative effects on my relationship. With my wife, my kids. My wife will still tell you that I'm more agitated than normal. Again, like me and Tren is identical to her and her period. She just had another one of her PMS phases, and now my older son is starting to know the side effects, and my wife will constantly tell me that she doesn't feel any different. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't care how you feel, you're behaving differently. And I think that the same thing happens to me with Tren. I'll say, I'm not really feeling it. And she's like, yeah, but you're acting like you feel it. So I think she agreed last time I made the video that it's certainly nowhere near as bad as the way I tend to behave at 300 milligrams. So somehow I seem to be getting the physique and the strength of 300 milligrams at lesser side effects. I don't know if that is, I don't know what's causing that. I cannot account for the substantial strength increase that I have received in the gym. I'm also happy to report that my blood pressure is down to a point that almost doesn't require any type of, I may have to stop the telmisartan completely. So I used to take 180 milligrams, 160 milligrams of telmisartan per day would keep my BP at like 125 to 129 over 87, give or take, somewhere that's like in the upper 120s over 80s. I am now only taking 40 milligrams a day, and I am consistently pulling BP numbers that are like 110, 105 over 70. So I think that I'm about to pull the telmisartan completely out for a while and see what my unmedicated BP looks like. I'm not entirely, I mean, I know you want low numbers, but I've had some low numbers. So, and I've been at 40 milligrams of telmisartan now for at least a week. I may ride the 40 milligrams a little bit longer because of the fact that I'm slowly increasing the trend dose. But given the fact that the numbers have come down massively and are likely only to decrease more, I really don't think that I need all of the blood pressure support that I used to need. Another thing that's worth mentioning that may change the type of content that you see on this channel, likely possibly for the better, I have basically been permablasting for, I have no idea now. It's got to be, we got to be gaining on 40 weeks. I don't know. I really do need to take the time and go back in my videos and find out when I started jacking my doses up over 600 milligrams. I have been permablasting for a long time. My weight is currently at 214 pounds in the evening, which already is bigger than I ever thought I was really going to be able to get. I struggled to get over the 200-pound mark for a long time before I started using MK677, and that gave me the appetite support that I'd been needing for a long time to really take my physique to the next level. I am definitely not saying that I am done trying to grow my physique to the next level, but I am saying that I have finally reached a point where I am very happy with my mass. Like, I finally feel like at about 215, 214, I'm filling out all my clothes. I have the mass that I finally feel comfortable with, and I don't feel like right now I need to push myself to get any bigger. In fact, the thing that's bothering me the most is that I have always known that it would be very easy for me to have a really shredded midsection, and I've just never been willing to compromise total body weight to get there. Now that I have put on and matured such a substantial amount of upper body tissue, I think it's time. I don't really want to call it a cut. I'm not really gonna just go into like a legit cut, so I don't want to mislead anyone. Basically what I'm about to do is I'm about to just start slowly lowering my MK677 dose. My natural appetite is not sufficient to support this amount of body weight and this amount of total body weight. So really all I have to do to start leaning out is change my macros slightly, you know, eat more protein, less carbs and fat, and all I have to do that is just take the MK677 either out or down. So currently I'm taking 25 milligrams of MK677 per day. I'm probably going to drop, I dropped it a little bit today. I don't know, I take half of a cc is 12.5 milligrams. I took 0.4 this morning. So I'm probably going to take 0.4 for probably like 3 days or maybe a week. See what happens, and just keep dropping a tenth of a cc per dose until my appetite declines to the point that I start seeing the weight coming off. So again, I'm not at this point saying that I'm going to target. I'm certainly not targeting a stage-ready physique, but I definitely just want to get to the point where, you know, I posted some pictures to my Instagram yesterday of me at the water park. And I wasn't like doing anything to flex or show my abs, and they're just not visible. Like the upper two barely, if you like really look for it. And so like I've got all of these pictures on my Instagram profile where I have 6 very nice visible abs if I'm in the right lighting and I'm really crunching my abs to make them visible. I just want to bring my body fat percentage down to a point where I have visible abs at rest. Basically, that's the goal. Not to turn into Joe Aesthetics or Ziz or somebody who is freakishly lean. I'm not ready to suffer in that kind of a way. I shouldn't say suffer. I really don't have to suffer. That's the thing. If I take the MK677 out of the equation, I will just not have the appetite. Like, I just won't want to eat, and I will by default start shedding weight because I will go into a deficit. There's just no two ways about it. In order for me to maintain this weight, I have to stay on an appetite stimulant, or I cannot get the calories in every day. One of the things that is unfortunate about MK677 that I have noticed, I don't know why this is, MK677 absolutely improves my appetite, but for some reason on MK677, my macros are not good. On MK677, I crave a lot of carbs. When I was off the MK677 eating more naturally, my protein intake was substantially higher. I actually preferred meat. Like I would go to Chick-fil-A or something and I would easily finish my nuggets or whatever and not be able to finish my fries. Or if I went to Whataburger, I would eat a double meat burger and then not finish the carbs. And now on MK677, I am much more prone to just go, I just want to eat carbs and I don't want to eat a lot of meat. And that's definitively going to have a negative effect on my physique. So as the MK677 comes down, I'm afraid some of the fullness is going to come down. Every time I've gotten off MK677, I have lost total body weight. So that's going to be the determining factor. When I start lowering calories, if I start to lose a lot of this mass, I'm afraid I'm going to get in my head and pull the plug on it. So the objective is to just bring my body weight down just enough to start cleaning up my midsection a little bit so that I have tighter, more visible abs 24/7, but not trying to get crazy with it because I still want to maintain the fullness in my upper body section. So that's the objective. So we're gonna be doing some different eating. And hopefully the progress pictures that'll be coming up are going to start to show a much more leaner, more diced and peeled physique, less bloat and water retention, which should be helped by the consistently following estrogen. So basically that's where we're at. So D-Game is back in business. But man, the Tren Ace, I don't know if I got sidetracked talking about this earlier. The point of this video is to say that the Tren Ace is definitely engaging my drug addict type drug seeking behavior. Every time the come down stops, which is about 3 to 4 days, I miss it and I add a milligram. I add 2 milligrams a day. I add a milligram per shot. This has been happening basically since I started. I started at 7, then I went to 8, now I'm at 9. And honestly, I'm not even feeling the 9 today. So my concern is that I could run into an issue where my Trenbolone dose where I have a lot of dosage creep. That's one of the ways that I can tell that I'm having a psychological addiction to a drug is dosage creep. I've said this many times. When I got on the alprazolam, all of these people were like, "Oh my God, bro! Like that's the worst thing you can do. It's going to destroy your life." For whatever reason, alprazolam really has a negative effect on a lot of people's lives. My dosage creep over the last 2 years has been almost 0. Like I take half a milligram every single day. I never think about it. I don't crave it at this point. now I have no choice. I mean, I would have to taper off. I've been on it too long. I certainly couldn't just stop. But I never have, like, I'm never like thinking about it, wanting it, craving it. And already with the Tren Ace daily injections, like around 1:30 or 2 o'clock, I start looking at my watch. And I start having those like, well, it's almost time for Tren shot. Oh, you get your Tren shot pretty soon. You know, like I get in the car yesterday to go to the water park and I'm like, oh no, I'm not gonna be home when it's time for my Tren shot. These are classic hallmarks of psychological addiction, and this is the very reason I did not want to run Tren Ace. I think the only reason I don't have a problem with this when it comes to orals is because I'm scared of orals. My liver is so dodgy that every time I take an oral, I just feel like I'm rolling the dice with my health. And so the fear of the orals overpowers what I think would otherwise be drug-seeking behavior. Because the same thing happens to me on Anavar. The first couple of weeks on Anavar, I feel like $1,000,000. And then the only way to maintain that is to go up another 5 or 10 milligrams a day. But at 30 milligrams of Anavar per day, 6 weeks in, I had an ALT level that was 201, which is 4 times the top end of the reference range. My liver just does not tolerate orals, and so I can't really enjoy playing with them in the same way that I can, you know, with Tren, I feel like I can just pin it with impunity. So, like, I've run Tren as high as 550 milligrams. I'm at 18 milligrams a day right now. So I could add 1 milligram, you know, every week I could go up 1 milligram for a long, long time. I could ride this come up for a very long time before I would be getting into any kind of really even remotely extreme territory. And so that's one of those things that's really honestly not good for me psychologically, because that's what tends to happen. I will just keep riding it until it becomes too uncomfortable. I'm already taking I take 2 7.5 milligram Zopiclones to sleep every night, which is one of the things that's always steered me away from higher doses of Trenbolone, is that it wrecks my sleep. And now I'm compensating by really taking more of a sleep med than I really feel comfortable with. And, you know, there's the significant possibility of long-term side effects from that. So, for better or worse, that's where we stand today. Those are the dosages. I think I'm going to be somewhat stable on these doses for a while. Definitely until I get my blood work back. Hopefully I'll be doing that tomorrow or the next day. So within the next 5 days to a week, we should have a new E2 number and a new prolactin number. Honestly, I hope my prolactin has gone up. If I'm right, and the Masteron was blocking prolactin, then we should see that number move pretty substantially. We should see more. So it's been going up about 1 point a month. It was at 0.3, and then a month later it was at 1.1. If it more than doubles this time, I think that will be pretty conclusive evidence that the Masteron was, in fact, inhibiting prolactin. I'm starting to feel some of the doom and gloom side effects that come along with 19-nor drugs when my prolactin gets out of control. This is usually when I would start taking cabergoline. The second I start feeling the depression and the doom and gloom, I hit the cabergoline and it immediately goes away. And so if my prolactin is not high, then I'm going to have to really, you know, decide what to do. Is it time to try some type of serotonin agonist or antagonist? I can't remember which one we need, because that's part of the way that cabergoline works. It doesn't just act on the dopamine receptor; it also acts on 5-HT serotonin receptor. So once I get the blood work back, obviously I will share those details with you all, and we'll see where we land. So again, this is intended to be free content. Hopefully this goes straight up. If you want to see all of the rest of everything else, along with the new perks on the members only Discord, then definitely join the members section. If you are using iPhone and you are trying to join the membership section, iPhone does not like my channel. Apparently it is channel specific. So you will not get the join button available on iPhone. If iPhone is the only thing you use, all you can do is bring up YouTube and then hit the I think there's 3 dots in the bottom right hand corner, and then you have to select desktop mode or view in desktop mode, and then go to my channel in desktop mode. Outside of the app, you have to do it basically from Google, so you have to Google YouTube, then hit the 3 buttons, make it load in desktop mode, and then you can join. And that's just what Apple does. It's one of the reasons they're one of the companies I hate the most in the world. I absolutely love my MacBook. My M1 MacBook that I got several years ago is one of the best computing devices I have ever used in my life, and I have been a lifetime PC guy. This iPhone 14 or 15 or whatever my company gave me is the biggest POS. I absolutely despise everything about this device. I don't know how anyone can use iPhone. Android is just light years ahead in every single solitary function. It is I absolutely hate this phone. I do most of my emails. I do everything I can for my Android. That iPhone is absolutely horrific. It's just, I can make a whole video about how much I hate this stupid phone. So if you happen to be one of these people who just loves your iPhone and you can't join the thing, that's why, because they're completely idiotic and you have to jump through a bunch of hurdles just to find a join button on YouTube. But if you jump through all those hurdles, I will make sure to make it worth your time. As always, thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next one.